Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my subscribers. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? So I wanted to talk to you guys about a breakthrough that I've had. Because I don't know what I just said, but I recently had a huge breakthrough. This is something that I feel like I've come to terms with now in the present moment, but it's something that I have thought about for, a few years now. Now, what I was going to start the intro with was how, what can I tell you about why you haven't been successful? What is it that is keeping you from being successful and being rich and being wealthy and, living your best life and having everything that you've ever wanted? And I decided I'm not going to go down that route. Why? Because, like I said, I've just come to terms with this breakthrough that I've had. And I don't want to feed a bunch of BS, right? Because I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. I am not living my best life, right? I'm very grateful for the life that I do live, right? I'm grateful for everything that I have, and I'm very thankful for the position that I am in. But I'm very far from, being wealthy and, living my best life and traveling and all of that stuff that comes with success. But I wanted to talk to you guys about phobias. And there's a phobia called success phobia, where basically it's like a fear of being successful, a fear of reaching a certain level in your life and, not being able to maintain it, or to, for something bad to happen when you actually reach that level of success that you want. And there's a ton of phobias here. If I'm looking down, it's because I have a notebook, and a lot of times I'll digress and I'll just start talking and I'll just start spitting out a bunch of stuff, and you'll look at me like, come on, where's the information? Where's the information? Okay. So yeah, there's a bunch of phobias: arachnophobia, fear of spiders; bibliophobia, fear of books, which I never knew of. It says chronophobia, fear of time, and chlorophobia, fear of clowns. Like, those are some of the different phobias that, people have, and there are a plethora of phobias that people have, right? And I knew people have phobias, but the only real phobia that I knew of that people had was like arachnophobia, which is like the fear of spiders. Like, I know you've heard that, just, whether you've heard it in school or, by word of mouth or something like that. But that was like one of the main phobias that I knew about. So I decided, like, actually today, I was like, is there a phobia? Is there some type of like real reason behind why I haven't reached the level of success that I want to reach, or why I haven't gone harder, went harder on my dreams and the things that I want to achieve out of life? And success phobia came up, and I was like, wow, because it was literally exactly how I have felt over the years. And I see myself as a very hard worker, right? Any job that I've ever had, I've gone very hard for, and I've had a number of jobs, but I go hard for those jobs, and I work very hard. And coworkers and managers, bosses, whatever, they can attest to that, right? Like, I am a very hard worker. But when it comes to, knuckling down on the things that I want to do, the things that I want to achieve, it's either me being, not being focused enough, me not knowing exactly what it is that I actually want to do, where I want to go in life. But the big main factor that has always made me fearful was what happens when I do reach that level of success? What happens when I do start to get everything that I want? What happens then? And that has been, something that scares me. As a woman, as a Black woman, it's like, especially certain stuff that you watch. For me, it's like, okay, if I get a lot of money, right, then I need to be able to manage that money. I'm going to need, people that are going to help me to invest it right and keep it right. How do I maintain that success that I get? And then there's the idea of, do I even deserve it? When I get to this level of success, will I deserve it? Right? And it's just so many different things that go through my mind about being successful. And I realized that, one, I was holding myself back. That it really, because I see myself as a very stubborn person. And I didn't realize that I was literally holding myself back from so many different opportunities that I have had over the years, because I was afraid of going the extra mile and seeing what it is that I can achieve. But okay, so let's get back on topic. Okay, so what is a phobia? So a phobia is an anxiety disorder involving excessive and persistent fear of a situation or object, which is, for me, a situation, being successful, obtaining wealth, right? And one thing, okay, let's not get off topic, because here I go, right? Okay. So some reasons include someone succeeds and they have negative experiences, like we were just talking about. Fear of negative consequences, right? So maybe that could be like you getting all this money and then you get a lawsuit or something like that. It's like you reach a certain level of success, or even if it's just the beginning and you're just starting to make all this money and stuff like that, and then you get hit with a lawsuit, or you get hit with some type of issue involving your finances, and you're like, you see, this is why I should have just, stayed broke, or this is why I should have just not, went after this in the first place, right? Imposter syndrome, like we were just talking about, feeling like you didn't actually earn it or you don't actually deserve it. Lack of self-efficacy, belief in your ability to complete tasks, right? You don't feel like you don't believe in yourself, or I for one, I didn't believe in myself enough to, let's just say, finish college. I was so worried about the next step. Like I looked so far into the future about, if I go after this degree, will I be happy? Will I make enough money? Will people, not necessarily congratulate me, or like, will people be proud of me, or like, caring about other people's opinions, just certain things like that. It was just like, I kept thinking about the end goal, and I wasn't really thinking, I couldn't focus on what was actually happening. I couldn't focus on the actual classes, or focus on pursuing something that I really wanted outside of other things that I was dealing with as well. But that was a huge factor. And I think the big thing, especially about having success phobia, is just having that anxiety. There's so much anxiety, especially if you are someone who already has a lot of anxiety. Like I don't want to say I have severe anxiety, but I would say that I do have a lot of anxiety, just in general, right? When it comes to a lot of different things in my life, their anxiety is tied to. And so it keeps me from wanting to explore new things. It keeps me from wanting to move outside of my comfort zone. And when you start to really recognize that, Like when I started to really recognize that, I started to realize, wow, I don't go out enough, right? I don't go around enough people, right? Because I get a lot of anxiety when I get around a lot of people and I have to communicate with people. Like I feel like I'm a really good communicator when I'm, around people. I feel like I can be very social, but I have to really know you. I have to really trust you. I'm also an empath, so I can sense other energies around me. I can sense people's feelings. I can sense the fakeness. I can sense I can sense the off energy. And so that already creates anxiety because it's like, why would I want to connect with people that I can't, be myself around, right? And so, that's a big one, right? Because when you network with people, right, when you connect with people, that's where some of the opportunities come from, or it's just even just you getting the knowledge from these people about whatever it is that you want to do. And so that was a big blockage for me, not connecting with people, right? Out of, having that type of anxiety. I also had anxiety about my intelligence. I used to be, I feel like, well, I don't even feel like when I was in school, right? I was a very good student, right? When I was actually focused, when I wasn't boy crazy, or when I wasn't trying to goof off and stuff like that, I was very, very smart, right? I passed a lot of classes. I, had the chance to skip a grade. And I want to tell you about that story too before I drift off. I had a chance to skip a grade when I was in the 5th grade. And I had aced out of my classes. I did very well. And they had went to my mom and they asked her, hey, your child, sorry, your daughter has, done exceptionally well. We think that she can move to the next grade, if that is something that you want to do. And I was asked about it. My mom asked me, and they were just like, do you want to move to the next grade? Like, do you want to skip the 6th grade and move to the 7th grade? And I immediately had a crazy amount of anxiety. I couldn't even be proud of myself for for what I had done, because I had so much anxiety about meeting new friends and not being able to understand the curriculum in the 7th grade, like being around older kids and stuff like that. I had so much anxiety. And then on top of the fact that we were getting ready to move into a different place, it was just like, I had a lot that was, I had a lot of fear, about it. And I still kick myself to this day because it was like one of those big opportunities that I feel like I missed out because I had fear, and that was fear that I had back in the 5th grade when I was like 10. You know what I'm saying? So this has stemmed from this has been something that I've had to deal with for a very long time. And a lot of times anxiety and stuff like that, it comes from trauma, and that's for a later video to talk about that type of stuff. But yeah, when I think about that situation back in the 5th grade and think about when I could have skipped a grade, and I think about how, who I am today and the opportunities that I've passed up just like that, I realized, wow, I have really held myself back from moving to the next level. Even jobs. I've had so many jobs where I was praised, like, consistently. I mean, praised. The first week that I started working there, it was just like, man, you're great. Keep up the good work. You could be moving up to this level at this time and stuff like that. And as soon as people would tell me that, as soon as they would tell me that, the anxiety would set in. As soon as they would tell me how good I was doing and how I could move to the next level, I would get anxiety. I would start to fear how, man, I don't know how, would I be able to learn the new information that I would have to learn? Would I be able to lead a group of people being in a management position? Like, I had that fear. And what would I do? I would start to pull back. I would start to do less, or, I would start to work less, or I would kind of just self-sabotage, right? Not showing up to work or calling out and stuff like that. But it was because the fear, the anxiety was so strong. It was just, it was wild. It was just so ridiculous. And it sucks, you know what I mean? It sucks because it's just like, it's something that I kick myself all the time. And I feel like it bothers me even more because it continues to show up in the present moment. Like, obviously, like I'm telling you now, like, I am very much aware of this now, but I still have those moments where I have to tell myself, like, it's okay. You're doing such a good job. What's happening next? What's the next level? Why? I don't want to be where I am today. I don't want to be in that same position a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now. I don't want to be in that same position. And it's because I do a lot, I get the praise, and then I start to digress. I start to fall back a bit, right? Because that anxiety starts to set in. And I just want to know, like, how have you guys had those type of issues? Like, have you guys felt like, because I can't say I know. I actually don't. I know people have like depression and anxiety and stuff like that, but I really be wanting to know, like, I really be wanting to know. Hopefully I could cut that out. But on a serious note, like, oh, I can't stand saying that. Like, girl, learn some more vocabulary. Learn some more vocabulary. Success phobia is real. They call it success phobia. They call it success anxiety. And I think success anxiety fits perfectly for me. Success anxiety. Because now that I'm older, and you have to think about that too. When you're young, if you're young and you already have those fears, you have that anxiety and me at 10, if you have that at such a young age and it comes with you throughout your older years, and you get to an older age where you're more aware, you're more knowledgeable, you're more experienced, so it makes sense that you start to really start closing yourself in. You start really putting yourself in a box, because when you're a child, you're free. You can do, you have so many different ideas. You want to do this, you want to do that. There's so many things coming at you. There's so many things that you can do. But when you get older, you start to, if you don't have like the right support, or if you don't have the right type of mindset, you'll start to really create even more. There's so much more fear and so much more anxiety surrounding what it is that what it is that you want and what it is that you do. And so I don't want to make this video too long, but I think that's huge. I mean, if you feel like you haven't been able to reach a certain level in your life, or if you feel like you have the same type of anxiety, I encourage you to look this up and like do some research on success phobia and success anxiety, and because they say treatment, there's a lot of different treatments for it, but the one that I found to be the most realistic was managing your stress. And I realized for me too, just in general, me being able to manage my stress and having more patience with myself, and like I have breathing exercises that I do when I feel like I'm having a lot of if I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, I start to breathe different. I start to, I really start to try to control myself. Or if I'd also try to think lightly about life in general, right? Because I feel like at a certain time in my life, I took things extremely serious. I was very serious about what I needed to do. Like, I was the type of person that it was like, I'm gonna graduate high school, I'm gonna get my bachelor's degree, I'm gonna have this career, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like, I just had things so set in stone. And then when certain things, I didn't accomplish certain things, or they didn't go the way I wanted them to go, I started to fall back more and more and more. And it just started creating more fear in me. It started to make me feel like it wasn't ever going to happen, or I just didn't know what I was doing, or it was just so many different things that I started to feel when it came to this. But success phobia, success anxiety is a very real thing. I can attest to that. I'm going through that, and I feel like I'm overcoming that, in the present moment. I do believe it's manageable, right? For me, being able to so I do tarot, right? I read tarot, and I just recently got into this about 2 years ago, when I was at a very, very dark place, very low place in my life, very low time in my life. Excuse me. And so tarot, has become, a part of my life. It's something that I love to do. It's something that has been able to show me parts of myself that I really didn't know before. And I get to learn new things. I get to learn about myself. And that's what you need to do. Like, you need to be able to, you need to find something that is going to teach you about you. You have to learn about yourself. You have to learn what it is that you like, what it is you're passionate about, what it is that you want, what it is that you don't want, right? Because when you start to go through the process and you get older and you start seeing things that you don't want, it's so much easier to narrow down the things of what you do want. But the only way to find that out is if you actually go out and do things, if you actually, start new projects, if you actually try stuff. You just have to keep trying things and doing different things. If you have so much fear surrounding, just getting out there and trying something new just because it might fail, you'll literally be in the same loop forever. You have to fail 100 times maybe just to get that one thing that you want to do. I have went through so many different things, and I failed a plethora. I failed so many times at jobs, at, starting new businesses, at, trying out different hobbies and stuff like that. I've tried so many different things. And because I tried all those things, I realized, man, I don't really like doing this. I'm not that good at that. I'm not, you know what I mean? I can sing. I love to sing, but I don't want to be a singer. Like, I don't want to be an artist. I don't want to be someone who, I don't want a career in music, right? So that was something that I had to deal with too. It was like, okay, I have a gift. I can sing. Like, I can also write poems. I could probably write music too. But then I realized that's not something that I want to make a career out of. It's not something that I wake up every day wanting to do. And so I was able to check that off my list. I realized I can do my hair, right? I can do hair pretty good, right? It's not, it's not as good as some professionals, right? But I can still do it, right? I do my hair. I do my own hair. I'm able to do really nice styles, and stuff of that sort. But I also realize I don't want to do that either, right? I don't want to have to wake up and do hair. I don't want to have to, right? So that was something that I got to check off my list. So as I started going down the line of what it is that I wanted and what I didn't want, I started to come across things that I did want to do. And I realized, man, I love to write. I love writing. I can do it anywhere, right? I can write about anything, right? So I'm able to really expand myself in that area. And so I started to narrow that down, right? And there was fear behind writing as well. I had a lot of fears surrounding me writing. Am I going to be a good writer? Can I make a living off of writing? And I had to do research. I had to do a lot of research. I started to, can I write books? Can I write ebooks? Can I write scripts for movies or for TV shows or something like that? Can I write blogs? Like, can I write articles? I just started to go down different lines of work and said, do I like to do this? Do I not like to do this? And I had to try it. I had to actually try those things to realize what worked for me and what didn't work for me. And I'm still in the process of doing that as well. But like I said, I realized that that was something that not only was I gifted at, skilled at, but I could learn more information about. There is a way to make a career out of it, right? When you find the right line of work. But that also talks about, that's also a part of like networking and meeting other people who do the same thing that you do. But that's just a part of it, right? Tarot. When I first started, I loved learning about myself, and I said, wow, I'm learning so much about myself. It really changed the trajectory of my life, I feel like, at that time, where things that I didn't learn, that I didn't know before, or things that I knew, but I was too stubborn to really take to heart, I started to really pay attention to, right? And that came with having patience. That came with being open to hearing things about myself and hearing hearing stuff and learning things about myself that maybe I really didn't like. And it was like, okay, if you don't like it, what can I do to change it? What can I do to work on it? What can I do to fix it, right? And then I realized I want to do this for other people. I want to teach other people. I want to help other people realize their true self and understand themselves better and love themselves more. Like that was something that that's something I almost feel called to do. And I really have to force myself, and not in the sense of forcing myself, like I have to get up and do this, or how can I say this? I have to push past the fear of being on camera, the fear of people not wanting to watch my video, the fear of people watching the video and saying that this information isn't useful or helpful, the fear of wasting my time doing this instead of doing something else. Like, I had to push past that because I realized that this is a calling. This is something that I feel really strongly about. And if I care enough about it, at some point other people will care enough about it. And at this point, it's about wanting to inspire change and inspire people to kind of do the work for themselves, right? Not necessarily sit in front of the camera and just start, feeding people information and hoping that I'm going to tell them, tell people to do something that they don't want to do. It's to almost just get someone to think, okay, maybe she's on to something. Let me go look this up, or let me go try this. Let me do this, right? Inspiring you to change what it is that you want to change in your life. Not me inspiring you to change something that I feel strongly about. It's all about you. It's all about what you want to do moving forward, right? And so Like I said, success phobia is a real thing. You know, you guys can comment in the comment section if you have other phobias, if there's other things that you're dealing with as well, that you feel like keep you from being successful or have slowed down your process of being successful. I feel like at the age of 29, being at this point in my life, feeling like, you know, just a few years ago that I was hopeless, that I couldn't, you know, figure it out, that I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life, that I was just a big failure. It was just like, in the present moment, I can, so, okay. Now, this is leading into the next video that I'm going to make. So, stay tuned for that. But there's 3 different spaces that you can be in. The present space that you're in right now, right? Where you have the space where it's like you're alive. You're here, you're alive. There's obviously a reason why you are still kicking right now and you haven't decided to just jump off. There's a reason. So if there's a reason why you're in this space right now and you're still working towards something, why not? Why not figure out what is the reason to why you're here? Why not learn more about yourself? Why not study yourself, right? Because you could be on the other end where you just give up. And the people who give up and quit, those people still haven't given up and quit. You basically, I feel like this side is where the people, you just die. You give up, you die, you try to, you know, I don't want to say like, I hope I might have to bleep that out. I don't know how YouTube is with this type of information. But when you're in that space that it's just kind of over, right? You're not doing anything. This is a perfect example, I think. Homeless people. There are homeless people out here who have no place to sleep. They don't have food. They don't have resources and stuff like that. Yet they still keep going. They wake up every morning and they still, you know, walk the streets and they still try to figure something out. These are people who still believe that there's something that's going to change in their life, something that they can make happen to where they can reach the level of success that they want to reach. They haven't given up, or else they would just, you know. And then there's the future that is possible, but it's not even here yet. You can sit in your bed and you can dream about this all day, all night, and think about all the great things that could come out of the future. But it's not going to happen if you don't take charge of what you're doing right now and say, you know what, I'm just going to go after exactly what it is that I want. No fear, no anxiety. And if there is fear and there is anxiety, I'm going to find out ways to manage that fear and manage that anxiety, manage that depression, manage that bipolar disorder, manage all of these emotions that I have that affect me very deeply. Manage the triggers, right? Some of us are in situations, environments, around people who trigger us. Sometimes people don't realize they're triggering you, and some people do realize they're triggering you and they do it anyways. You have to recognize, what are your triggers? Who are you around that triggers you? What environment are you in that triggers you? And you have to either, find, if you're in a situation you can't certainly get out of in the present moment, find a way around it. Find a space. Create a space for yourself where you can have less triggers. Create a way, create something in your life that will provide you with more peace of mind, right? Because all of that stress creates the fear, creates the anxiety, creates the depression. Social media, like there's so many different things that can really affect you in you finding yourself and you figuring out what it is that you want out of this life and going after it. So we are at the 35-minute mark. This was kind of long. I hope I stayed on track. I want to make more videos like this, so I figure I know that I have to just keep making the videos and I'll just keep getting better at it. But it's hard out here. It is hard out here. I mean, you know it, I know it. But for some reason, I just believe so strongly that I'm going to be successful. I do. And before, I used to really believe, man, I'm going to be so successful. I was in the future. Like, I'm going to be really successful. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that. But in the present moment, I didn't do the type of work that would get me to that space. Out of fear, out of anxiety. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to allow that to keep you from living the life that you deserve and the life that you want. So yeah, I hope this was informational. I hope this was a helpful video for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more videos and, you know, not trying, I'm going to be doing. But yeah, this was a really good video. I thought this was really great to talk about. Excuse me. So if you know anybody that has, you know, success anxiety or success phobia, you know, people who have such great ideas, you know, people who are so motivated and they work really hard, but they just haven't been able to reach that certain level, you know, have them research success phobia, have them research success anxiety. Because this, I feel like this for me it was like validation. It was as if someone came to me and said, I know what you're going through. I see you. You're not alone. This is a real thing. You're not crazy. You're not lazy like, you know, hustle culture tries to make you feel like as if, you know. And I know it's a huge thing, and I'm still talking, but I know that's a huge thing, especially in this hustle culture, where people who have reached a certain level of success, they like to call other people lazy. The people who haven't reached that success, or the people who haven't been able to figure themselves out, or haven't been able to manage their emotions and manage themselves enough to reach that level of success. And I'm here to tell you, you're not lazy. You're not lazy. You may be a bit unmotivated, uninspired, but your fear of success, your fear of what you can do, what you can create, is holding you back. Go after what it is that you want. Do what it is that you want. Try new things. Try new things. Even if you fail, just keep trying. Just keep doing something. Start checking off all the things that you don't want to do. And start circling all the things that you do want to do. And then narrow it down. Start to narrow it down. If you want to be an artist, you like to paint, or you like to, you know, draw pictures and stuff like that. Do you want to sell clothing, or do you want to sell those paintings? Do you want to draw art for television? There's so many different avenues to that one thing that you're good at, the one thing that you want to do. You just got to figure it out. And then you just have to do those things and say, man, okay, that didn't work. I don't want to do this. A lot of these things that we think about wanting to do don't even involve money. They don't even involve money. It just involves you figuring out what it is that you actually like to do and what that you want to do. Because it's not about anybody else. Of course, you want those people to buy your product, or you want those people to be proud of your work, but it really comes down to you. If you love it, if you like it, if you wake up every morning wanting to do it, you care about it that much, everything else will fall into place. And that's what I truly believe. I believe that if I continue making these videos, if I continue trying to if I continue writing, if I continue putting the information out there, then I will be able to reach the level of success that I want to reach. Just by trying. I was able to, and I'm gonna tell this story and then I'll get off of here. We're done. You know, y'all just been hearing me talk and talk and talk. Like I said, I started doing tarot 2 years ago, and immediately I was like, okay, this is really good. I've learned a lot about myself. I started, I think, I started in like November of 2021. By January, like between November and January, I was doing a lot of research. I was studying and stuff like that. I was doing like free readings. I was reading on myself. And then in January, I started my YouTube channel, and I also started giving paid readings. I made within probably that, I want to say the first month or two, I made around $300. And I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself because I went for it. Go away, fly. I went for it. Now, my YouTube channel didn't blow up too much, but my Facebook page that I did create, where I was getting my readings, I ended up reaching about 500 subscribers, or 500 followers, not subscribers, followers. And that has been a very proud moment for me as well, because I did it for a while, fell off a little bit, and now I've been doing it a lot more consistently recently. And I just realized that I just have to keep going. I have to keep going. And I keep telling people about it, and it's like a lot of people won't believe in what it is that you want to do. They either won't care, they don't see the vision, they don't understand. Whatever the case may be, you may not get the support that you are looking for when it comes to what you're doing, but it does not matter. It doesn't matter. You do it because you want to do it, and everything else will fall into place. Because when you do it because you want to do it, you put that love into your work. You put that care into your work. You put that time and energy into your work, and it produces something. Because when you do something that you don't want to do, what happens? It doesn't produce much. Why? Because, or even if it does produce a lot, you don't really care too much about it. You're not as happy about it. It doesn't ring a bell for you, because it's just like you didn't really care to do it in the first place. But when you do something that you love, that you really care about, the success will come, and you're not going to have, it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows every day. It's not going to be great all the time. But I promise you, it's going to be worth it, and it's going to feel like greatness. You're going to be so proud of yourself by how far you've come. You're going to be able to look back. That's another great thing about it too, that I've also realized. When I'm able to look back on my work and look back at what I have done and what I have created, I get so proud of myself that it makes me want to even go further. It makes me want to keep going. right? Because I get to see a long list, this long line of what I have done and what I have created. And that's something to be really, really proud of, especially when you're doing it yourself. You're doing it because of you, not because of anyone else. So that's all I want to talk about, you guys. Like I said, I hope this helps. Thank you, subscribers. And I mean, yes, thank you, subscribers. I have 6 subscribers right now, and I appreciate all of you guys. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, you guys. I have more content coming, and I'm excited for you guys to follow my journey, onward, because we are going to the top. And I want you guys to come with me, because I want to inspire as many people as possible to show you guys it is possible and it can happen. And I can't wait to look back on these videos, 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and see this video and think about the risks that I took and how I managed my fear and my anxiety, so that I could make it to the next level and the next level and the next level. So if you got through this entire video, I love you guys. I love you guys. I am so thankful that you watched and that you cared enough to stay through to the end. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Be a butterfly. Transform, grow, evolve, you guys. This is what we are meant to do. This is why we are here on this earth. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.